What's up, everyone? It's Gabby Trades, and welcome back to the channel. Well, talks about a Black Monday were creeping out towards the end of last week as the VIX and crude oil spiked super high. Now, before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a breakdown. All right, so on Thursday night, Israel launched an attack on Iran, which rattled the global markets completely towards the Friday session. Now, the volatility index, which is the VIX, often called the market's fear gauge, surged over 15%, you guys, on Friday. Meanwhile, crude oil prices exploded, rising 7% on the day and hitting a 14% spike from Thursday's close to Friday's intraday high. Now, this is insane. Well, then you're going to ask why oil matters for inflation. Well, energy prices, especially oil, are super key driver of inflation. Now, the recent drop in CPI that we had, it was actually partially thanks to the falling gas prices, but that narrative might change super fast. And on top of everything, top-ranking analysts are warning us that if Iran blocks the Strait of Hormuz, oil could spike to $120, even $130, or imagine $200 per barrel. Now, that is going to be something else. This could simply reignite inflation, delay Fed rate cuts, and trigger a larger market correction. This is what we are fearful of at this moment. Now, the interesting part is that investor sentiment is still too complacent, in my opinion, especially the US stock market one, because despite geopolitical chaos that we're facing right now, the fear and greed index only dipped 1 point to 60, which is basically still in the greed section, whereas crypto fear and greed dipped into neutral territory at 50, which is super interesting contrast in my opinion. Anyway, crude oil above $90 could really spook the market. So I'm watching for sharp corrections in CPI sensitive stocks, you guys. Now, in terms of what do we have this week? There is a lot going on. Let's see who's here first. We have Philip Dickens. Oh, Paul Premier is here as well. Who's that? Scott Giles, Rafero, Dodi, of course, Trip, who we haven't seen before. Welcome. And then we have Sugar Cookie helping us with the links. You guys, if you're new here, please come and say hi in the chat because we're super friendly bunch. All right, cool. We're doing a screen share. Hold on. Cryptocello is here as well. Cool. Let's have a look what's happening here. All right, you guys, can you see that? Just let me know. Mr. Vane is here. Our amazing analyst. He is just one of a kind. All right, cool. Let me just move the screen so I can see you guys in the chat. And don't forget to start typing in the chat once again, because you know that I get all these stuff deleted for some reason. Could not figure that out, whatever. All right, so hopefully you can see the screen. So what do we have on Monday, actually, which is today, by the way? We've also heard that we have the G7 summit that begins in Alberta, Canada, you guys. So this one will be just global leaders really discussing geopolitical stuff and economic challenges. So that will be interesting to see if we're going to get any news on that. Tuesday, actually, another thing that's important to know for us tomorrow is that we have the US Senate, which is going to vote on the Genius Act. Remember, we spoke about that before, which is going to be a potential game changer for stablecoin regulations. Now, moving into the news, what do we have here? We have Tuesday US May retail sales data that is going to be released. Now, that's expected to show some sort of decline amid tariff-related concerns. It's going to be interesting. Now, we have the US industrial production for May, which is also expected to come in flat, which is pretty much going to signal what it's going to be signaling a stagnant manufacturing activity. Then I usually don't look at the, Japan news, but I think this one will be important as we have the Bank of Japan meeting to decide on interest rates, with markets focusing on potential reduction in bond purchases. Now we definitely want to keep an eye on that. And then, of course, we have the Feds kicking off with its June FOMC meeting with policy direction to be clarified for us on Wednesday's statement. And of course, Wednesday, we're going to have the Fed Jeremy Powell holding a press conference, which we probably should watch. Of course, in that press conference, he's going to talk about inflation, employment, and rate cuts, projections. That will be the center of the stage. And yeah, what else do we have? So on Thursday, we're going to have some more Japan May CPA data. So let's see how that will go. It's going to be interesting to see how that goes while China Central Bank announces its latest rate decisions as well, you guys. So that's pretty much on the news front this week. Hello, we have Gogo here and Fountain of Youth. How are you guys doing? Did you have a good weekend? I personally had a very good weekend, just away from the charts, away from Discord, away from everything. I just need that, period to reset, honestly, because it's just too much going on. And yeah, it's just crazy. All right, so let's have a look real quick. Well, you know what's really good to see? Well, it's really good to see that our model is just always operating to the T. Like when I open the charts, it just gives me this massive satisfaction that we have a model that's functioning, and it's amazing. You guys, oh yeah, it was Father's Day as well, to all the fathers. So I know we have lots of fathers, Samurai J especially. What did you get, Samurai J, for Father's Day? Yeah, that was big. I think it's actually a US one. I'm not sure if it's like a completely international one, but hi Anupam. So yeah, like I said, it's always satisfactory to see that our models are working and our supports, resistances, and generally how I trade is still working even in the markets that we're facing today, which is kind of crazy. So we're gonna go ahead and look at everything. But yeah, so pretty much, you know what we do, right? Of course, the sell zone respected the daily resistance, respected, there was lots of uncertainty here in this range. A lot of people got caught up into that. But again, we dropped. And what did we see happening on Friday? Well, what do you know? Of course, this was the bottom that was created now here. We're at our 0.236 zone. I don't know. It's honestly getting a bit boring, you guys, to be right all the time. I'm not going to be cocky, I promise. But yeah, so for everyone that's on Discord, you know what that means. And if you're not on Discord, I suggest you guys join, because I'm going to be locking the Discord, if not this week, next week, under a fee. So I think this will be pretty much your only chance to get in. So the link you can find in the chat box or under the description box. So make use of that, because this is going to be it. I'm kind of done with like giving away freebies at this point. And to be fair, a lot of the community agrees with me as well. Like everyone just, I feel like if people are engaged and they're like, paying for something, they actually are going to make a difference to their life. Like you need to sit down and think, do you actually want to do this for your, day job or for your career or whatever? Because if you don't have the right mindset, nothing is going to happen. Or if you're only looking to take signals, this is frankly like probably the worst thing you can do, because every trader has bad weeks and good weeks, and you just have to have that discipline to, I'm going on around here, but you have to have that discipline to, execute a certain amount of trades, whether it be 10 trades or 20 trades over a certain period of time. But in order for you to do that, you have to be consistent. And if for you to be consistent, you need the discipline behind it. So you really need to think about, what do you want with trading and what do you want with crypto or whatever in general. Lower high and higher high on Bitcoin, clear compression. German is here. Well, welcome. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Though this is the reason why I think I'm gonna make that move for Discord and everything. But you guys are welcome still. So yeah, all right, let's just say all right, so this here on Friday was obviously the super unfortunate events that we're seeing right now, and we're bouncing back from an area of cheap prices. Very simply said, cheap prices of the entire price range. Price was comfortable to bounce back, and price seems very, very comfy at the moment to uh to jump even over the zero point 0.5. You guys, I mean, that's kind of bullish for now, right? And also another thing that I noticed is on Friday we had a complete drop in the open interest as well, which seemed to be like, you know, a complete restart of it, which was also bullish, you know, for me to observe. So all these things are signaling to me that, you know, Bitcoin is weakening. If you compare it to the traditional markets, is definitely a little bit more weaker in my opinion. But this is what we're facing in right now. I quickly have a look at ETH. With ETH, we're playing with a little bit of a, you know, a bigger price leg, very clear price leg over here. And again, you know, we were hoping to find some support to maintain the zero point 0.5, but we didn't, right? We didn't. So when that happens, you know that we're looking at our ultimate zone, which is 0.236, which is holding, but not as strong as Bitcoin, because obviously we had the ETH BTC playing around a little bit. Farad, very happy to see you, Gabby. Yes, me too, you guys. Honestly, I wish I could see you as well. Maybe one day we're gonna do like a together, like a stream where you guys also can show your faces. I think that's gonna be really cool. But like I say, most of the people here are on Discord, and for the ones that haven't joined, join while it's still free. That's my recommendation. All right, cool. So for ETH, yeah, pretty much same thing, right? This is lower time frame price range that we're dealing with. On a higher time frame, well, we're breaking from the zero point 0.5 now. The thing is, you know, it's very tricky because we already broke the zero point 0.5 once and we had a massive rejection from it. Massive rejection. So now, knowing that we're coming from the 0.236 point, we know that we need to watch very, very carefully at how market is going to react at 0.786, even if we get to that point, because to be fair, right now we're in the kill zone, aren't we? 0.5 complete kill zone. So from here, if we lose the 0.5, this is not good news. Now, the only good news that we have here is that we still have the 12-hour support, which is a higher time frame support. Yes, you guys, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't, if you're new here, and say hi in the chat. By the way, I see we have a lot of people here that are not chatting in the chat box. Introduce yourself, because we're probably one of the most friendly communities here. Okay, let's see. Mr. Vane, watch out. We have bearish 4-hour target on BTC and ETH, also bearish pattern. Okay, so what Mr. Vane is referring to is our trading indicators that are available for everyone to buy, that I have developed for you guys. Now let's see the sweep signals here on ETH. All right, cool. So thank you for that, Mr. Vane. You know, it's Monday, so I haven't really looked in the charts because I'm not really a Monday trader person. You guys know that I wait for Monday to finish to have the true week open. This is what we do. So basically, yeah, so the thing that Mr. Vane is signaling us is that we still have a lower target on ETH as per our 4-hour strategies. Hello, Crypto Love. So as per our 4-hour strategy, having a low target down here is meaning that we're targeting this fractal low, apparently, as per the strategy. Of course, nothing works 100% of the time, but this is just an indicator. So my problem with that is actually quite significant, because we haven't developed any fractal highs here or anywhere else on the way. So that means that our invalidation currently sits all the way up here. Now, that's a lot of space for price to play about. So we want to see whether we're going to create a fractal high here, and that is going to be an indication that we might invalidate the setup, or we're going to create it somewhere in this area. Now, we can use a lot of tools to find different sort of price points and everything, but of course we need to work out, first of all the indicators that we have in you know, in availability, right? So yeah, we're gonna look at the S&P and traditional markets just as every day. Hi GB, hi Bandit, smash the like, yes. Um, so, the volume profile does not look very great, does not look very great. And we know pretty much how the volume profile works. And on a 4-hour time frame, especially for ETH, we can see the value area high is printing just about when price is right now. We have the point of control just in the inverted fair value gap that we were watching for weeks for now. And we have the value area low just below the 0.23236. Right. So we know that 70% of the trading has happened in between this volume profile. Well, the thing about volume and price, right? You need to understand for price to move, it needs money, right? It needs liquidity. So we are not from yesterday. We know where the most liquidity sits, right? It's in three main market sessions, right? We have the liquidity generated during Asia, we have the liquidity generated during London and New York, where the most money are flowing in the market. So we can see that this is reflected sort of in this little box. So we pretty much need to break from it right now. And even without opening the volume profile, now this is just additional confluences, we can clearly see that price is currently at a decision point, right? The 0.5 is going to be extremely crucial for us right now, especially on ETH, in my opinion, to see what's going on here. Now, what else should we look at? Crude oil. Crude oil. Let's have a look at crude oil. Not looking good. It's not looking good at all. Even though it's retracing, it is still bullish using the 4-hour strategy. We have a double top here. Okay, great. Anyone who caught the double top, sell from here. Happy days. All right. This is pretty much retail patterns, very easy to spot. Now, the thing about crude oil is that I have this $74.93, and I've put it as a cross here. I don't know if you guys can see it properly. Let's get rid of this. Put the liquidity on because this is important. 12-hour. Let's go on a weekly because crude needs a little bit more. So you see, the alarming thing about crude oil, you guys, is that we have double liquidity formation, right? This is again using my indicators available for everyone to get. There is 3 indicators that will help you significantly, in my opinion. This is the stuff that I use every day. So we know when we have double liquidity on crude oil, on any asset, this is just pretty much hello Diamond Eyes. This is pretty much an indication that we indeed might see prices for crude oil above $90. Now, finding ourselves in where we are right now, it's so sad, you guys. I feel terrible about everything that's going on, and it seems that it's not getting better at this point. There is some talks about invalid invite. Oh, Bandit, really? I don't know. Sugar Cookie, can you test the link if it works? Because it should really work, but sometimes when you copy it many times, it doesn't work. So Bandit, try the link that I've put in the pinned message, which you can find in the chat box. And I think this one, because it's fresh and I just uploaded it, it should be working. All right, so crude oil on a higher time frame, right, which is weekly, in my opinion, this is the range that we're dealing with right now. All right, my experience is telling me that this is the range, and the range is bullish. So that is not good news, right? Unfortunately, I have to go on a monthly so you guys can see it a little bit better, because crude oil is crude oil. It's not some sort of altcoin. So the thing is, with crude oil, okay, so if you're in a bullish leg, right, you'll be very happy if you get a bounce from the 0.5, because you know you're gonna get $130 per barrel. Okay, maybe you won't be happy at all, but let's say if you were looking at any other chart, whatever. So now we're seeing that we lost the 0.5. So when we lose the 0.5, we know what to do at the 0.236, and that's, if you're part of our community, you know how we trade these things. So yeah, the bounce is clear. It's from here. It doesn't look very strong. It doesn't give me that much confidence. What else can we add? Even if we add the simple moving averages, okay, we can see that we're in sort of like a decision moment right now. Like, is this going to break above? In my opinion, it should, because yeah, we already had a clear break over here. But yeah, let's see. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, right? Because this is not going to be good. So yeah, that's for crude oil on the 4-hour. On a weekly time frame, like I said, we have double liquidity, so it's quite likely that things are gonna get shaky. And right now, on a weekly time frame, we are pretty much printing potentially a second fair value gap that might form. Over here, this is weekly, or is it only one fair value gap? Yeah, so we're printing it right now. So this is going to be a major area, and obviously it's showing you where the support should be. So then we're looking at what, $68, looking at $63.7. This is going to be major areas for us. And right now, again, with the help of the indicators, it's pretty easy to see that we had a sell zone over here. That's a sell block. We also had resistance, previous resistance, so price is reacting as it should. But will it find support down here? This is what we want to see, right? And it's going to be extremely important for us to track these things for the overall market sentiment, because how does markets work, right? You have the traditional markets, then you have Bitcoin, because that's where the money are coming from. Now you have the institutions, you guys, all right? Like, we just need to change our mindset, because, and you know, I was even talking to Dodi today earlier, and I just tried to explain to him that, you know, this is not your usual 2020, you know, 2022 in crypto. Now we're in 2025, where the institutions are involved. So it's pretty much, in my opinion, the only thing that's going to save me is day trading, right? Nothing else. I'm not like looking for 100x's. I'm not looking for 50x's anymore. Sorry to break it down to you guys, but this is the reality that we're facing, in my opinion. You know, if you ate, you ate. It's just, that's it. Now, another good thing on Bitcoin, yes, we have a 4-hour target that's lower, as per, I'm going to trust Mr. Vane. Yes, Mr. Vane was right. But using our liquidity indicator, the good thing is that we can see that, what is that? Let's put a number to it. 110,660 something is liquidity for Bitcoin, right? We have lots of stacked liquidity up here, like double tops or whatever. This is all stacked liquidity. So it's looking good. But let's not forget where this whole down movement started from is this initiation down here from this triangular formation. So what does that mean for us usually, right? It means that all this zone could potentially hold, right? So, you know, for me to be extremely bullish, now I don't only need to break the daily, you know, resistance, I also need to break this level up here and 112,000 Bitcoin for me to get a little bit more bullish. And then would I be confident to hold my long too much? No, this is going to be entirely, in my opinion, dependent on how the traditional markets are doing at this point. Alrighty, talking about traditional markets yet again, let's look at the S&P 500. Well, talking about Black Monday, look at it, you guys. This is only the daily candle. Is this a Black Monday to you? We have a move of, let's have a look. 2.3%. We're up almost 2.5% on the day on NASDAQ. This doesn't look like a Black Monday to me at all. It's complete FUD, in my opinion. So pretty much the analysis still stands. Right? We had a sell zone, which is now turned into a buy breaker block, and it's clearly holding, right? You have a manipulation here to the downside, and currently now you're pretty much distributing with the idea to make all-time highs on NASDAQ, and that happens in the current economic conditions. Now, be honestly, open your eyes, because this could be, in my opinion, this could be just a sweep and then market correction potentially on the way. Let's have a look at gold, because gold is also important, right? Now, gold is pulling back. This is on a daily. We have a pullback on gold, so close to all-time highs. In my opinion, right, these all-time highs on gold are going to come, but price indeed has space to drop down, fill some of the imbalances. And what do we have here, right? What do we have here? Insider bar. Well, this could be where price draws back to, in my opinion. So we need to look out really carefully what gold is doing around $3,370, in my opinion. Everything is due a pullback. Gold is due a pullback. S&P 500 is due a pullback. NASDAQ is due a pullback. We have so many infilled balances, right? So many infilled balances down here, $20,000, 388 on NASDAQ. That are, they have to be filled eventually. This is going to be crazy if we hit all-time high today during the stream on NASDAQ, you guys. I swear, what a Monday. This for Monday is just crazy, in my opinion, honestly. Anyway, for Bitcoin, so like I said, I don't like to trade it on Monday, but there was a small entry earlier today, I think on the 15-minute time frame. Now, you don't have to really be, I don't know, an analyst with years of experience to see the reaction down here. You can use like even the stupidest indicators to find out that this move was bullish coming from here. So that happens a little bit early in the morning. So probably a lot of us would not been able to catch that, but it's still important to make a note that you have a bearish fair value gap inversion. What do you have here? You have a bullish engulfing candle on a 15-minute time frame, very, very strong. Even if you pull out, I don't know, simple moving averages, you can see that you also have a confirmation with that, right? And they work quite well when you partner them up with like bullish engulfing candles and stuff like that. So this is where we're at right now, you guys. I am surprised with the Nasdaqs. Investors are happy of the war this much. Was this at all what? Was this at all what? You have to finish your sentence. So this is the thing, right? This is the thing. It might be just buy before dump. We never know, right? We never know how bad this conflict is going to get. Anyway, whatever it is, right? We know that we've had this situation, and even if you remember, guys, we had it in October, last October, November, where the first conflict between Israel and Iran, or was it the first, or did they attack each other at the same time? I think it was for the first time, really. So we had pretty much similar price action on Bitcoin, and everything was still bullish. If you remember, we had good months, right? We had good months in October. We had good months in November. It was I made so much, like I was doing really well that time. So is it going to be the same thing? This is actually nuts. If we see all-time high on NASDAQ today on Monday, that is just something else. I'm telling you guys, it's just really weird. So we need to be watching out extremely carefully at what everything is doing right now, because it might be a manipulation, right? We might not even get to all-time high. We might just sweep some highs over here and reject and just start dropping. So it's so hard right now. False move Monday. Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Presmislav. Such a hard name. Hi, Tetsko. Hello. So yeah, I think the market is just signaling to us to be very, very cautious right now of everything. Yeah, let's have a look at Sol real quick before we wrap it up. So see, Sol again, right? again, Sol is very tricky because it's not really doing much. It is still in a range. And my biggest problem with Sol is that it hasn't taken the 12-hour liquidity down here. So it did that one time to me down here where I was like, oh my God, it missed my entry with just few points. And then it exploded up with like how many percents we're looking at. It did like 15% or something. And I was like very, very annoyed about it. But then I know that the liquidity is still here for grabs. So I'm like, don't fear and don't be in a hurry because this is just manipulation, in my opinion. And this is what happens after. And yet again, we took that low down here, but we didn't even take the liquidity on the 12-hour time frame. So this for me is just all very, very sus, right? And yeah, the traditional markets are super bullish, but okay, this is the leg that we're working on Solana, and it's bearish. Okay, 0.786 respected to the T, sell from here, no news for us. Zero buys from the 0.786, or if you attend it, you'd be wrecked. So then what are we doing, right? We didn't take the liquidity, we're bouncing back again. And we're bouncing like substantially. Although even if you look like on the higher time frame, yes, okay, you have maybe on the lower time frame you have some confirmations. Let's have a look if you do. No, you actually don't even have confirmations on a lower time frame that you can use, I don't know, standard deviation or whatever. You can use breaker blocks. You can't because there isn't one, right? There isn't simply one. So the first breaker block you're looking is up here. So you know what I mean? Like you have to wait for price to break $168, right? With strength and a body close to say, okay, now I can start buying. So, but before that, it's just a gamble in my opinion. Especially if you're at the 0.5 and NASDAQ is near all-time highs and you're at 0.5 in a bearish leg. So you might as well just reject and go grab some more liquidity to the downside, And also, don't forget, by the way, you guys, if you're new here, don't forget to like and subscribe because here you're getting pure price action and I'm literally teaching you live what to do. And I'm going to stop doing that very soon. So get yourselves on Discord, get your VIP role on Discord because Discord is going to be closed. I'm telling you, all these stuff for free that I'm giving to you guys, it's going to end because this is true and it works. Dottie's here. Who's here? Who's been here with me for so long? I want you guys to tell everyone in the chat if these stuff work or if they don't work. And I don't care who you're watching, but these are the stuff that will give you the edge in the market. So get yourselves on Discord while it's free. Get your VIP role because Discord is going to be paid. All right. So yeah, no, I don't mean for how long you're following me. I just want you to let the guys know that during the time you were following me and I've been teaching you my model, how many times it works and how many times it fails, like honestly. So, this is serious stuff, like, anyway, so that was my point, right? In a bearish leg, Solana, extremely bearish, right? Even though it's retesting, is still bearish. We haven't really broken anything. In fact, this liquidity, this low down here took the previous low. So it's like, what are we doing? And you don't have any breaker blocks. You really need to wait for 168. I have to wait for 168 to get any sort of confirmation that this is bullish, because even the daily support is not going to save me at that point. And a higher time frame liquidity down here, I will be even questioning my entry, ideas in general. I'll be questioning everything, to be fair. Sometimes you just need to control the greed because the technicals are terrific. Absolutely, I agree. Technicals are really hard and you just have to have a model that you stick by and you're just like taking it over and over again. And after a series of 10 trades, be like, okay, I lost this many times, I won this many times. Does it make sense for me? to do this? Does this fit me as a trader? I'm curious to see Nasdaq. Oh my lord, this is actually wow, 22,200. 2.5% on the day Nasdaq. This is just unseen. Gold down 1.17%. Crude oil down 4.5%. Right? Knowing that crude oil has a higher target, I'm telling you guys, in my opinion, this is not going to last too long, honestly. And also, you know, my bias for altcoins and everything, I told you guys, it's going to be the summer or nothing. And again, we also need to keep in mind that this is not 2022, right? We need the money flow, the money, everything is changed. You know, I even spoke to my friend Trade Travel Chill over the other day when I went to see her new place, which was really cool. But anyway, so I was just speaking to her and I was like, it's incredible to me how all these people are like still believing that we can get 50, 100 X's on altcoins and stuff like that in the environment that we're facing ourselves in right now. You wanted 100,000 Bitcoin, didn't you? You craved 100,000 Bitcoin. You have 100,000 Bitcoin now. Where are your alts is my question. The answer is nowhere. And the reason for that is because you need money for that. You need liquidity. You need the market to be liquid. Where are the money coming from? Right? Well, in this cycle, the money are coming from the institutions, ETFs. They don't care, right? They're going to pick like a handful of altcoins or whatever, and that's it. You know, they don't care about the gazillion other projects. Nobody cares. So yeah, I hate to break it down to you guys. Wow, if we see Nasdaq all-time highs today, I'm actually going to be watching to short this, I'm not going to lie. Not as of yet, not as of yet. That's why I really only trade high leverage Bitcoin. Paul Premier, are you trading on my link? Because do so to support the stream. You can find the links everywhere. You know what to do. So yeah, I think that's it pretty much for today. But what if institutions start using DeFi? Well, this is what I'm telling you. Like, there's going to be some sort of a pick, right? They're going to have like a handful that they endorse, and that's it. It's not going to be everything. It's impossible. So yeah, this is what we're looking at. Nasdaq making a new all-time high potentially today. You guys, there's not much more we can talk about today. We have to come tomorrow and reassess what's happening. But yeah, you know the zones: 0.786, 0.236 on Bitcoin, 0.5. And same thing for Ethereum. We watch our zones as usual. We want to see if 0.5 is going to reject. If not, the next zone to look at 0.786. Solana at the 0.5 right now, same thing, 0.786, all the same stuff over and over again. Over and over again. This is for a Monday, huh? How is that for motivational Monday? By the way, I'm going to have like really cool social media reels created for you guys that I'm going to work on this weekend. I'm super stoked about it. I think it's going to be really, really fun. Since Trump coin alts died and not returned and never will, in my opinion, and that is an institutional play. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me also how many like institutional, individuals or figures or institutions in general have been involved in crypto in the wrong way. And not to mention also celebrities. Like I watched this CoffeeZilla, interview with like some scammer or something. His name was Sahil. And yeah, like Jason Derulo and like Iggy and all these, what was the father of the Jenners, whatever, I forgot, Caitlyn Jenner. They've been all scammed by this guy, and he's like knowingly going out there and saying, oh yes, I did this, I'm super proud of doing it, I managed to scam them. All these people put their money in these coins, and the celebrities didn't even do their due diligence to check who are they dealing with. um they didn't even know what they were tweeting for money. I mean, it's just all trash. Yeah, I agree 1000%. But anyway, you guys, this is it for today. I hope to see you guys on Discord. Again, if you haven't joined, please join, because I will indeed log the Discord for under a fee. And we're going to move all these live streams to Discord. They're going to be entirely Discord only, where people could also speak to me, not only chat. We're going to make everything happen like this, so you guys get the full value over there. And then YouTube, we're going to keep like small alpha for. Yes. All right, you guys. Again, so happy to have seen you today. And yeah, thanks for the trading ASMR. Really? Is my voice like ASMR? It's possible. I don't know. All right, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it and you find some value in the stuff that I'm trying to teach you, because that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm not here to give you signals, and this is not going to happen. Mm-mm. Great. Okay, I'm so happy you guys liked it, and I will see you in the next one.